Well, new at 5 tonight, a court case starting today could decide whether you will need to keep bringing your photo ID to the voting booth, and it stems from a federal lawsuit filed more than 5 years ago. The suit challenges the photo ID requirement for voters to be able to cast a ballot. Republicans argue that the law is about election integrity, but voting activists and the NAACP says it's really more about making it difficult for minority groups to be able to vote.
As citizens, it is our duty to vote and to make sure to elect people who are competent to hold office, people who won't pass bills that suppress our votes. Despite me being nervous today, I was committed to telling my story. I am committed to voting, and I know it is my duty and it is my right.
All right, Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes joining us now to talk about this. All right, so we're talking about integrity versus making it harder to vote. I really wanted to spend a little time laying out both sides so people can really understand, because I think when you hear a fragment of that sentence, sometimes people aren't understanding both sides. So first, let's talk about that.
The biggest thing is you can say that on the Republican side, the GOP-led General Assemblies, and this is across the country, multiple states have implemented voter ID laws. And if you're on the other side of it, you would say voter ID suppression type of tactics to suppress the vote. On their side, it's, as you mentioned, to ensure that there's integrity. The issue with the integrity line of argument is that across the country, they have dismantled organizations that would actually do the very thing they're attempting to do. There were already organizations in place to ensure that voter integrity was there. And in North Carolina specifically, we removed the organization's funding and decided that the state could do it better than this organization was doing it. Another point that folks would point to on the side, I would say, that's against these type of implementing these types of things, would say there's no statistical portion out there that can point to any number that shows there's irregularities within the voting process, that there is some large number of blocks of individuals that are out there, attempting to vote with multiple IDs or in multiple places with one ID. And so, because now there's this created problem, now you've created a solution to a problem that's not out there. That's the argument that was made today in court, that this system has now already infringed on individuals' attempts to vote. 500 plus people that voted in the last election were denied. Their votes weren't counted because they had some ID irregularities. What the state is saying is that, listen, we've implemented things that should prevent this from causing the problems that you guys are alleging.
So when you talk about any gray area, it really seems there is no middle ground.
It seems like there is no middle ground here, because just looking at the historical impact, if you're on the side that says this is the attempt to suppress votes, you're looking at the history, poll tax, literacy things to ensure that folks could read before they could vote. And so these were ways systematically to attack voters that could not read, that didn't own land at the time. And so they believe that this is hearkening back to those old times. And again, to the state's position is that, what? We've added an opportunity for you to get a free ID if you can't get one, if you don't have one. We've given access to more types of IDs that are out there. So if the 2 or 3 that we used in the past, and the courts have already struck those down as were not enough, we went and added 7 or 8 more. So now you have an opportunity. If you didn't have an ID, we'll provide you. Both sides are making compelling arguments. I think if we're looking at this case quickly, the Judge Briggs, has kind of already showed her hand. She's an Obama appointee, and I hate to do that and say if they're a Bush appointee or an Obama appointee,
right,
but she's already said that there are a number of fundamental issues with the law that it was written. Courts have already struck down some of the things she said and upheld some of the things she said. She looked back to the things that the state has already done to try to, create and root out voter, issues. And she said, listen, you guys are going too far. There's no statistics to support that. Show me why. And this hearing, it'll last a couple of days. It's not a jury trial. So she's the person that will make a decision. I anticipate that she'll decide that this law will have to be struck down, and then they'll appeal.
Good insight, Khalif Rhodes. Appreciate it.